Let's dive in and get some reaction from two people who have represented this country on the international stage. And I'll start with you, Amy. Canada 1, Switzerland 2, so close with that last push to winning the group. Perhaps it was a blessing in disguise based on the opponent we have, but we'll get to all of that. Let's start with the performance and the result as Canada lose their last group stage game to Switzerland.
Yeah, I think it's okay to feel a little bit disappointed. I think that the team has earned that in the way that they grew into this tournament. Better second half versus Bosnia, a great performance versus Qatar. It was comprehensive in nature, but a little bit curious with the way that they started this one, where I was frustrated by a passive and reactive Canada. They were up against a quality team in the Swiss. They were professional, they were pragmatic, but the urgency of the last 20 minutes, I think, pointed to what Canada could have brought in a comprehensive performance. And we can get caught up in the details, but the reality is two things can be true. We could have beaten the Swiss at our best, and it was there for the taking. And we are at the point in this program's development that it's fair to have those expectations so we can feel a little bit deflated. But I think at the same time, we can celebrate the milestones. We can celebrate the first point, we can celebrate the first win, and we can also celebrate the fact that this team is going into knockouts for the first time ever. So conflicted, a little bit deflated, but ultimately what's next up is the round of 32.
Jimmy Brennan.
No, I agree. I agree with Dubs and what she was saying. I think, keep in mind, yeah, it was a game that we thought we should be able to win, but you're playing against an experienced Swiss side that have been there before, that have done it. I just thought their movement was very good. The way that they closed down, they limited space, and they made it difficult for us at times. And yes, of course, we end up conceding 2-0. Second half was a little bit different now because we had to be on the front foot, and the Swiss ended up dropping a little bit deeper, which tends to happen all the time. Should we have got something out of it? Yes. But am I happy where we are? 100% I am. And when I look at this tournament and thinking we got our first point, we got 3 points after that, winning 6-0. We've made history so far. We've got to the round of 32. And I think with the matchup, I think it actually suits us better than what it would have done if we ended up winning the group and who we would have played. So I think this South Africa match just suits us, and it gives us an opportunity now to get into that group of 16 and make history again. So overall, throughout this tournament, I've been very pleased with the way that we played. Yes, a little bit disappointed because I felt we should have got something, but overall, I am happy with this team.
Yeah, so now we can officially look back on Group B as all four nations have played all three of their matches. 2 wins, a draw, no defeats for the Swiss. They are through, and win on 7 points. As it stands, they would play Algeria in the next round. Bosnia and Herzegovina, same amount of points as Canada, but of course the goal differential works heavily in Canada's favor. And now, literally just official, Bosnia and Herzegovina will play the United States of America on July the 2nd. So results are pouring in. We are getting closer and closer to a full knockout picture. And we do know that the South Africans are next. But before we get there, Jimmy, if we were to give a letter grade to Canada, what would you give them for this group stage?
I'm going to give Canada a B+. B+. And the reason being because I think going into this tournament, there was a lot of people that were skeptical about it, thinking, no, maybe we'll get 3 points or maybe we'll get 2. Or and I think they've shocked a lot of people. Against that game against Bosnia, I thought the performance in the first half wasn't great. Second half, we grew into the game. Now, we've got to understand as well, that's the first match of a World Cup. There was a lot of energy that was used. There was a lot of mistakes that were made in that first half. And as we started to grow into the game, you really saw who we were as a country, as a nation. Our identity started to come out. And we felt again that we should have won that game. And then what they did was they took that second half, brought it to Qatar, and we ended up winning 6-0, which we made history. And then again, a decent performance, especially in the second half against Switzerland. So overall, and where we are, how we got to the round of 32, I'm giving this Canadian national team a B+.
Amy's nodding.
I'm nodding. I'm curious, Jimmy, if you ever received a B+ in any of your report cards.
I will show you. I had many B+. Thank you very much, Dubs.
Okay, well, Group B, I am also going with B, but minus the plus. I'm just going with a straight up B. And I'm going to echo a similar sentiment to Jimmy, where I feel like Canada has grown into this tournament. I think, pedestrian slow, nervy first half versus Bosnia. Shook off the cobwebs. You got your scorers, you got your prolific scorer, your talisman going in Jonathan David in game 2. Yeah, I got Kyle Larin with his fingers in his ears, tuning out all the noise in game 1. And then I think the reference point is not only the performance versus Qatar and the way that they scored 6 goals, but it was comprehensive in nature. And then the in-game response is what I'm going to highlight. So not only the individual performance and rising to the occasion with Nathan Saliba being subbed into the game, scores the free kick, talks his captain out of it, and he's going to take it himself, whips it in, holds up the Kone jersey. That's the type of response that they're going to need to recover, regroup on a short rest to go into the round of 32. So this team, and hopefully you've got, some insurance coming, you've got some players that were maybe put to the side and saved for this game. And maybe this is a little bit of pragmatism by Jesse Marsch. We can maybe dig into that later, so that maybe a guy like Davies is available, maybe a guy like Bombito is ready to go. But I think Canada's got something up their sleeve, and hopefully it's another good response like they showed versus Qatar.